Welcome to Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. This video is going to be the continuation of a series of videos about trying to delete unpaid payables, delete payables transactions, etc. And this particular video is going to be about what to do if CHS says you can't delete a certain job cost entry because it was included on a cost plus draw request. And there's a reason for that. If you include a cost on a cost plus draw request and give it to your home buyer or banker, and that cost is included in the draw, if you deleted it, it would make that bizarre, actually. So we need to do a flow of that where we actually reverse that cost that will reduce the next draw so that you'll see the flow. If you just start deleting things that have been included on previous draws, then it won't make any sense to the home buyer. So let's say we know there's a survey entry. We'll just go to the I did unpaid payables ledger, which is where you can delete things. If you were on the other ledger and it found that it was paid on a check or something, you'd have to mark it as unpaid before you could do anything about it. But let's say this $100, for some reason, we're not going to pay for these surveys extras after all, for whatever reason. So we say, let's just go ahead and delete this by using the red X. What we're getting is a message from CHS that says this entry has been included in cost plus draw number 2. Therefore, the entry cannot be deleted. You will need to post a reversing negative entry on the Add New Payables window to reverse this cost. The negative entry you post will reduce the next draw for this job. This allows your customer to see the activity trail, or if it's feasible at all and you just produced a draw request that you haven't really given to the customer, you can go delete cost plus draw request so that you could start over. But let's say we did give this to the home buyer, so we need to do a reversing entry. Let's get a little report of these entries, just so we have some information for doing our reverse entry. I'll export it to PDF so that I can minimize it down on my taskbar, so that we'll have this particular information about this $100 and an invoice number and some things like that. So let's get that minimized. The other thing let's look at is whether it was attached to a PO. And when I hover over it, it's 3811, and we can see it ends in 352. So let's take care of that. But first, after we've been told it was on a draw request, let's go home. Let's go to the draw request button, and let's select that job it was about. It was our demo job. If you look at the job code on it right here, you can see which job that was for. And let's click our button for cost plus markup. That's the type of draw request that we've produced already. And let's take a look. It said it was in draw 2, so let's look at the cost detail behind draw 2. You can see that you might have given this to a cost plus customer, where you see 1120 cost code and you see this $100, and we drew 125 because it's marked up 25%. So we don't want to suddenly have that just disappear when they gave you a draw payment for that. Also, if you view the stored PDF for that draw, and we were demonstrating how to store an additional one with some notes on it, so let's open that one. That's the one we gave to the customer. When I click to open this draw request, we can see that that 1120 cost code had these costs posted to it. The budget amounts, total costs of $281.25, that's the marked up costs. And it's 180% over budget, so in one way that extras will be nice to take off of there. But what's going to happen after we do this and we try to produce draw number 3, we'll have a minus for the 125. That's the amount with the markup. But let's just leave that up there in its tab, so in case we wanted to look at it again, draw number 2. And let's go post. What you need to post is the reversing entry. I'll leave that draw request open. I'll leave the unpaid payables open. And we'll do a post payables. To that ATS engineering. And we're going to create a job related bill. We might go ahead and decide to just put it against that PO so that we have a history on that PO of what's been applied to it, because we applied the $100 to it and then we took it away. So let's take a look here. That was that one. This PO is showing outstanding, but we're going to make it open again in a way because there will be no cost posted to it. So I selected it. It's telling me it's a duplicate because it's using the same invoice number that's supplied by CHS. It's a variance. And let's see here what the date was on that, 2/29. We could go ahead and leave today's date because that helps also give a trail of when this reversing entry came in as of today. Reverse entry. So let's do minus 100 here. And you can see that there will be a 25% markup on that dropped in because the budget shows that this cost code 1120 is that. So we're doing a minus of $100 here, and we're going to go ahead and submit it. And we will post as unpaid to pay later. And let's close that. Now what you would want to do if you want to get those completely off your unpaid payables, let's go back to that. We asked for ATS engineering. And let's take a look now at what unpaid entries there are for ATS engineering. Notice that we have a plus 100 and a minus 100. And we might just go ahead and check mark these for whatever reason as being okay, the two of these, in case somebody came along and printed a check. Or we could check mark these to pay and just post a zero check, which wouldn't affect a checking account, by clicking this payment button, which you might want to do to just get these off of here. But maybe you want to trail in and out and you want to just print a check for $125 when it comes along. You could leave those there or mark these as paid to get them off your list. We'll show kind of doing that when we're prevented from deleting one where there's been a job closing or a books closing in the next video. We'll show just posting that as paid so that they'll get off the list. But it's kind of okay to leave these here. We could just include them all in one check when we select pay. So let's go see what happened to our draw request information. Let's go back to the draw request menu and let's do cost plus markup, and let's play like we're going to do draw 3, although I'm not really going to post it. But let's do prepare new draw requests, and we want all the costs to show up through today, so that's fine with us. So we'll continue to the next step, and the first window that opens is a list of all costs that will be included in this draw, and they're all check marked. And this window opens so that you can uncheck something that you don't want to draw for some reason, if that's necessary. But let's just leave all of it checked. So this minus 100 will show up in the cost code for 1120 on our draw worksheet, and I'll show you how that looks. Notice that, actually it's 125 when it's marked up. Notice that if you look at prior drawn, you'll see a total of 281.25 in draw 2, but if you look at what's complete, 156, which is actually tying to our budget now, you will see the individual entries, and you'll see the in and out of the 125 minus 125, that it has draw number 99 on it. That means it hasn't been drawn yet. That's how CHS marks entries that are not drawn so that they can include them in a cost plus draw request. So when we go and we look at our draw request for this, you can see that on the draw, we don't even need to look at it. When we print the draw request, This time it will show prior drawn 281.25, but ready to draw minus 125, so it's bringing the total ready to draw that will be on the draw request down. So that way there's a trail of this for the home buyer to see that we're actually giving them credit for overpayment on this surveys last time maybe. We decided not to pay for those extras for whatever reason. But that's how that works, so that you can have a trail and it will flow. We wouldn't want to just delete that entry and then just suddenly show prior drawn as being 156.25. They'd be going, no, I'm looking at draw 2 and you drew 281. So you wouldn't want draw 3 to have suddenly have 156.25 as prior drawn in it. So that's why we do prevent, if it's been on a draw request, we prevent deleting the entry, and we tell you to do that reversal entry so you'll have a flow. On cost plus draw requests, that will behave the same way for cost plus builder fee, because those are drawing on your posted costs, including those credits. So thank you for watching, and I hope that helps.